Hello grade 9, welcome back, Mr. Knapman here, and today we are starting our first writing purpose for ELA 9B, persuasive writing. So today we are going to look at what is persuasive writing in this quick little video here, and as usual we are going to begin with what the writer should do before we actually define these two terms. Now, this is a writer's workshop course, so we are going to lean right into here what the writer should do when writing to persuade. And the writer seeks to persuade audiences to accept a particular position on an issue. So by changing that word, now we shouldn't define words with the actual word, right? So the writer seeks to convince audiences, to push audiences to accept a position, but a particular position on an issue. And the writer tries to inspire action or change by hooking and motivating the audience. So when you hook a reader, that means that you're using the very beginning of that writing piece to pull the reader in like you're hooking a fish. And we are going to have a lesson specifically on that during this unit here. And by motivating the audience as well. So we're trying to inspire action or change with the words that we use. Quote here at the bottom, if you look at this image, real persuasion comes from putting more of you into everything you say. Words have an effect. Words loaded with emotion have a powerful effect. I love that quote. That really says, it doesn't necessarily discuss what persuasive writing is, but it does really show us how we can be more persuasive. And it's quite easy, really, by putting more of you into everything you say. There's a writing task coming up in deepening writing to persuade. So the second module here, in which you will write about a burning issue and you will try to convince your audience by being very careful with the words that you choose to take up your position on an issue. So let's move over here to define this word. Okay, so to persuade means to cause someone to do something through reasoning or argument. When we write to persuade, we choose a topic which we are passionate about. Writers write what we know. Remember, we talked about that in ELA 9A. So even if we're writing to provide an audience with information and to try and convince them of something, as opposed to just writing to entertain, we still want to choose a topic which we are passionate about because it will be so much more interesting for us to learn about and write about. And we can be more convincing when we believe in the task at hand. Then we try to hook the reader's attention by presenting a convincing argument, and then we attempt to inspire action through careful attention to the way we present our opinions. So you'll notice a running theme through here, and it's just being careful and cautious and purposeful, and you will, if you pay attention to the mentor texts we look at, as well as the outlines for the writing tasks, and really pay attention to the purpose, what are you supposed to include in this, look at the rubrics before you attempt any of these tasks, and you will learn to write to persuade. An argument, let's solidify our understanding of that. We use the term argue, but how is persuasion different from an actual argument? Good. I'm glad we touched on this. An argument explains what someone believes. I could argue that the sky is green if I so chose to, right? I would just explain what I believed. While persuasion attempts to change someone else's opinion. So I'm not just saying, I disagree with you, the world is my way. I'm instead trying to use techniques and words and terms and trying to get into your head and get you on my side. When writing to persuade, we must ensure that we find the balance between convincing our reader with a strongly written persuasive piece and simply slipping into an argument. We will watch our tone.